You ever felt like your no means nothing? Like they turned your no was best for you into not having nothing at all? It may feel like life never gave you many options beyond fight or flight. And after a while, being passive start to feel like the only safe place to stand. A kind of controlled comfort. But what's the point of safety if you can't actually breathe there? The moment you set a boundary, people's real motives come out. Suddenly everything becomes an ultimatum, especially when you depend on others. It's like renting a furnished room. When you leave, you walk out with your dignity and that's about it. Submissiveness became controlled comfort. Outside of that is pure hell. What's the point of safety without comfort? They make the idea of independency feel like a death sentence. And you grow up thinking things would change after high school, but then you step into the real world and realize it's just a bigger version of the same drama. More complicated, more disguised, but the same power games, the same social pressure, the same people who want more control than connection. There are always people who want something from you, attention, validation, proximity, and they'll get close in many ways that don't feel genuine. You start to see the trafficking in real time. It's disgusting when it comes from people that you raised with, people that you love. They can't even look you in the eyes. They just want to be close to you. Perverted tendencies, no help or feedback. They team up with other people to gossip, manipulate, to try to downsize you. And when you pull back, when you give yourself space to breathe, the more you create space, the more they sabotage to bring you close together. They'll destroy everything if it means bringing you back to them. The obsession is real. They'd rather tear things apart than to deal with their own emptiness. Big children, toy guns. And you're left trying to figure out how to protect yourself without losing yourself. How to stay human in a world that treats boundaries like betrayal. They're trying to destroy your spirit by raping your mind and get your body. They want to keep you in the juxtaposition. It's obvious it doesn't work out, but ignore the effect. See but don't speak. Show but don't tell. All of it is a spell. The abuse isn't physical, it's mental. I don't want to make it seem like everything about you, but the truth is the truth. The only reason people even have something is so that when you come around, you either have to go to them to interact with it or deal with them because you're dependent upon it. They don't care about something until you care about it. And if it's something you know that they don't know about, they do their research to try to find out what you know. They watch what you eat and how you eat. Excuse me for bringing this up, but they even want to know how your shit smell. Soon after you leave the bathroom, they go right after you. Their presence feel uncomfortable because they trying to act normal when they not human. They something else. That's why nothing excite them, nothing satisfy them. Why you think your life became entertainment in the first place? When they say they playing, they usually not. The whole system is built to exploit and take advantage of those who don't have good, genuine people around them. It's not too many good people left. They say the good die young. The people who get to live a worry-free life are typically terrible people who you may encounter for help. This is how the human trafficking is played. Public schools, re-education and brainwashing of children, creating an obedient workforce, foundation for a new industrial lifestyle and scientific nihilism worldview, asylums, imprisoning those who couldn't function after the reset and had memories of the old times they couldn't let go, mentally ill, and those who resist, political prisoners. Both of this is more or less documented. Orphanage, creating slaves for church members, repopulating certain areas of the new world, obedient workforce. Also, they probably had to do something with the children that turned up everywhere due to the destruction of traditional families after the reset. So creating orphanage was a natural solution for them to gain advantage over the situation. Organized religion, church, controlling the population with fear-based incentives, guilt tripping you every chance they get, while low-key drugging you and implanting you with some shit that's fucking up your health. Because they fucking up how you look. Because they jealous of how you look. Constructive criticism become recreational. Suddenly you're not even making any choices. They telling you what to wear, how to dress, how your face expression should be. While you're not talking, you should speak more. Gangstalking is people who can't take no for an answer, that come together just to rape people and take people. Don't ever feel guilty for setting boundaries. Protect your peace and stay woke.
You know, because it's a secretive government watch list. It's a secretive government program. 56702 is. It's secret courts and all that jazz, which he does acknowledge. Um, he basically said that anybody who is under contract that exposes it is liable. I don't want to say liable because I don't think that's the word, but basically they'll be prosecuted and will spend up to 10 years in prison, mandatory 10 years in prison. And so I imagine that anybody coming into contact with the people who are doing this, I imagine anybody coming into contact with, like, you know, becoming a contractor or a surveillance role player or whatever and what have you, you know, like they're told that they are liable, that they might spend up to 10 years in prison if they expose what they're doing. Now, I wanted to say one thing, and I'm not sure if this even relates, but I used to be a mystery shopper, and in our training, it told us that we cannot tell anyone that we're a mystery shopper, even if we are a mystery shopper. We can't, like, I mean, not even if we are, excuse me, even if they ask us, excuse me, that's what I meant to say. Even if the person that we're the target or anyone in that office or wherever we're going asks us if we're a mystery shopper, we cannot confirm it. We basically, you know, lie or have some story made of it. But effectively, we're not supposed to say that we are a mystery shopper at any point, you know, and that was grounds for firing. So I imagine that they're telling these people that because all these people are connected to the 56702 secret courts and anything that has to do with the Patriot Act and the violation, effectively the violation of the constitutional rights, they're going to be fined, or not fined, but they're going to be jailed and imprisoned for up to 10 years, mandatory. So, not up to, but mandatory 10 years. And so that's just what I was watching on that James Comey testimony. About the FISA 702 courts. But that's just a theory that I have, but it just feels like that the way they shut up, like, many people might know that I had a neighbor who hit me, who was told, terrible things about me. And, he hit me and he said, I saw you, he didn't just say, this is what he said. He hit me. I asked him why he hit me. He said, I saw you do terrible things. You do terrible things. I know you do terrible things. And I said, well, what are these terrible things? Because, like, you know, let me know something, because I don't know what I do. Like, if I do some terrible things, let me know what I do. And he looked at me and he wanted to, tell me. And he just, like, stared at me. And then he turned around and, walked up to his house. Because, mind you, it was a whole deal. I had to call the police and everything. And the reason why, for him to shut up at a moment of heightened, situation, he already said too much. And a heightened, moment, emotionally heightened moment, he already said too much. And I would have loved for him to explain exactly what he meant, because not only was my neighbor taking pictures of me, and doing all sorts of weird, stuff, and it was weird because he started, like, mind you, this is coming off the back of us having a great relationship, and out of nowhere he just starts keeping his distance, and he just starts not hitting me, he starts like recording me. And, like, one day, like, I had just come home and I was outside playing with, we had these outside feral cats and I was playing with them. And I saw him, like, pull up in our driveway and start recording me, and I only knew he was recording me because he had that flash on, and it wouldn't turn off. And then he was like, oh, and I saw him, like, panic and then turn the flash off, and it was like a whole deal. And then he just started being super rude to me until, one day he chose to hit me. And so I'm like, where did this all come from, And so I'm just I forget where I was going with this, but I imagine that my neighbor who did this and decided to tell me that little bit of information, tell me more. I'm like, tell me more. What is it that I do? Because if I'm doing something that's terrible that got you out here taking pictures of me, then let me know what it is so I can exonerate myself, or I can, because that's the point. They don't want you to exonerate yourself, because if they have something on you and you're able to pinpoint and talk and speak on what it is that they actually have, negative, like this negative experience of you and on you, then maybe it should be spoken about. It should be told about, you know what I mean? It should be, be made public so that everybody knows and not just some people. Because if, but that's the smear campaign of it all. Like, I don't know what they have, and all I know is, like, I've lived my life honestly. I've lived my life extremely honestly, and I don't know what they got going on. But I know they're telling people not to say anything, that she just needs to be monitored. And the thing is, everybody thinks they're going to be natural acting until it comes down to actually seeing the person that's been smeared about. And then nobody acts natural. That's one of the biggest things they need to talk about in targeting and even investigations. Even before I was targeted, I had interest in how, like, not prisons, but how, I don't know how it came up for me, but I had various social justice or social, so I'm gonna just call them social projects, projects in college. And I learned not only that the majority of people in prison are just poor. That's the main reason why they're in there. The majority of people in prison are typically just poor, and it's like drug offenses, I believe, are the biggest ones. Like low level drug offenses, getting these long ass sentences. And the recidivism rate is high because there's just no safety net, really. And they have to eventually people have to rest on what they knew. And so they end up, going back into prison because they are going back into that lifestyle. And, God, I forgot what I was about to say. I'm so sorry. But one of the things one of the things about the whole system is that when someone comes under investigation, for whatever crime, they often may tell the person's employer, for whatever reason. Like, it's not even to just protect the employer or anything like that. It's just they may tell the employer. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking. They may often tell the employer, which then the employer starts to treat the person wrong that's being investigated. And of course, the civil liberties and a person's dignity is being challenged in that space, because even though there has been no proof of crime, or they haven't gone to court for them to even know what the crime actually, if the crime was actually truthful or not, they're just being investigated for it. People, once I don't want to say a crime, but once a label is stuck, or I don't want to say offense, but once somebody says you're doing something wrong under investigation, it automatically sticks, right? Like, people automatically start seeing you as this negative person without due process. This is what I learned in college, and I think this is why college and critical thinking is so important, because it's so important not to jump the gun when people are being accused of shit, excuse my language, but being accused of stuff because you don't know the full story.